excuse me. Hey there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy, and I have a really cute card for you today. It's pretty simple, but there's a lot of tips and techniques and some really nice new product that I want to share with you, well, that I used to make this card. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start first of all with my die cutting. So for this section here with the little leaves on it, that is a new die set. It's called the, oh, let me move this so you can see. It's called the Fancy Frame Dies, and there's two of them in there. So one of them looks like this, right? And the other one is going to cut out these leaf frames here. Now, since it's so small and delicate, whoop, wait, I put that in the wrong pile. I'll never find it again. There we go. I'm going to turn, oh, I put it away. I'm going to turn this into a sticker, my cardstock into a sticker before I cut it out using our adhesive sheets. So let me try to get my act together here. I feel like I haven't done a video in like a week or so, and it feels like I've been out forever. I haven't, but sometimes it feels that way. So I have some garden green here, and like I said, I'm going to use these adhesive sheets. Let me see if I can, up here's a scrap. Look, and it just happens to be the perfect size. Nice. So I'm going to just peel this back, this the backing off of the adhesive sheets, and just kind of lay my cardstock down. Now that's sticky, so it's going to stick on there, right? And then let's do the same thing to this side. There we go, and then just give that a little back rub, make sure it's stuck real good, and then I'm going to just cut this off right here. And now that adhesive sheet will be to my piece of cardstock and make this now into a sticker. So when I run my die cut through there, it's going to be easier to apply to my paper. Okay, so let's bring in our machine. Well, let's first lay out the sandwich. So I have my number 1 platform, my number 2 adapter plate, my really chewed up, nice and worn cutting plate. I'll lay my paper on there, and then my die on there, and then the last cutting plate that's not quite chewed up so you can see in case, though it's not off the paper and stuff. And then bring in the machine here, the Cut and Boss machine, which I absolutely love, but I think you all know that already. And I'm going to just run it through there real quick. And then I am going to go back just because it has that adhesive sheet on the back of the paper, and it's such a fine die. That way it'll get all those little pieces and parts cut out for us. Okay. So now to get all those little pieces and parts out of my die, I'm going to bring in my Take a Pick tool. Now a Take a Pick tool, I'm sure you've seen me use this before. I love this tool. It comes with, of course, the tool. This is the, I guess you call it the putty end or the sticky end. It also comes with a replacement for the sticky end, and it comes with another tip that I'll show you how to use later. Now that all comes together, and then you can purchase what they call a die brush to put an attachment onto the tool like that. You just screw it on like that, and that also comes with 2 of these like spongy things. Now I keep my spongy thing in an old paper pumpkin box. That way it just kind of makes, I don't know, less of a mess. But I'm going to take that big piece off, and then you can use your die brush like this to loosen all those little pieces and parts here and get all of those, hopefully all of them, out. Then when you take your die out, it has, well, most of them, but so it looks like that. Now then you take your pokey tool, or the pokey part of it, and you poke all those rest little pieces out, and now we have, look at there, the perfect little frame to put on our card. And then by putting your sponge or your in the box, you have less mess to clean up on your table. In fact, look, it looks pretty good. Okay, let's put this away. Now we're going to add this, here's my dies, to a piece of basic white. Now I believe this is 3 inches by 4.5, but I would go to my blog becreativewithkathy.com. All the measurements and a supply list will be on there, and that'll just make it easier. And sometimes my mouth doesn't work quite as fast as my hands, and so I say the wrong things. But like I said, becreativewithkathy.com. The link will be in the description. You can find all the measurements and the supply list there. Now I'm going to take the back off of that adhesive sheet, or my sticker here, carefully, because it's so thin in some places. It's a really pretty frame, but we'll take that back off. Now you notice I've brought in the base of my Stamparatus because I think it's easier to lay that piece there up in the corner here. I'm going to try to get it pretty flat. It's pretty warped now because taking the sticker off, but there, I've got it in there pretty flat, and I think it's easier to line up the paper this way because I know that's in the corner. Then I'm going to just lay my white sheet right on top, or my basic white right there on top, and then look, it gets lined up almost perfect. I missed a little bit down here in the corner. Oh, it's because it's crooked. Let me just fix it. But it helps you to line that up really well. So that's why I like to use the base, or anything that has a corner like that. You could use your Simply Scored, there we go, to do that too, to line up in the corner. But there we go, we have that. So let's do some stamping now that we have this ready. I'm going to use this Hello Ladybug stamp set, of course, to make my ladybugs. Oh, I have them all mounted here. So on a piece of, what is this, Sweet Sorbet, and I am going to use my Pierce Matte since it's a photopolymer stamp set, or also known as a clear stamp set. And I like to stamp on my paper before I punch it, especially with these little ladybug wings, but I just want to stamp and then punch her wings. So if you look, the punch goes this way, so I want to make sure that my stamping matches my punching. It just makes it a little bit easier. I'm going to just stamp those little black dots right there like that, and then go ahead and punch those out. So now we have our ladybug wings, and then I'm going to bring in some of this. This is Stampin' Up's masking paper, and I'm going to do the same thing here and stamp those black dots just down here in the corner. Not too close because we have to have room to get the punch around it. And then with Sweet Sorbet, I'm going to stamp the rest of those wings, and I'll show you the plan here in just a second. Let me ink this up. I'm going to practice with this since this is such a solid stamp. Let me get a piece of scratch paper and make sure. Oh yeah, he would have been just fine. Ink him up good. And this way, whoops, wrong way, I can line up those dots, I think, easier by doing the little black part first and then stamp. And I'm letting my ink sink into my masking paper here too. But then I let the ink sink in and I get a better, or I do a better job of lining it up. Okay, we're going to punch these out with the punch too. And set those aside. And then let's do a little bit of stamping on the inside of our card. Now today I'm going to use those Boutique card bases and envelopes, which, except I don't want the red one, I want the blue one. Let me see if I can find it here. And this is a couple packages that I have all the 2 packages of card boutiques together, but you normally get 4 of each of the new in colors with the coordinating envelopes, and they're really pretty, and it already has the designer series paper on there, so it's easy to use. It does all the work for you. Let me fold those there. Get that. We're going to just stamp on the inside of this card. So I want to do a little ladybug down here at the bottom. Okay, I'm trying to think. I lost my train of thought. Sorry about that. But I'm going to use just some black memento. And since this is a pretty solid stamp, I'm going to practice once with it too. Yep, okay. Now let's go ahead, and I'm going to just put it down here in the corner at a little bit of an angle. So she looks a little bit like that. Let that ink sink in. Now it probably looks, I'm not applying a lot of pressure, but just enough to hold that stamp firm so the ink can sink into my paper and get a really nice image. like that. Now, because I stamped these on that masking paper, I'm going to just take the backing off. And what my whole plan with this was is that's it's a thin, maybe if I can get that backing off, it's a really thin masking paper, and so it won't be too bulky for the inside of my card. The hard part is getting the backing off, but I got it here now. There we go. So if we just take that backing off, now we have a really thin sticker. I'm going to line it up with the neck and just set it like that. Then I'll just bend this corner over a little bit if it goes off the edge. So that's what that'll look like. And then I want a happy birthday up here, so I'm going to bring in that go-to greeting stamp. This is one of my favorite birthdays right here, and I'm going to just ink that up in the memento. Ooh, I'm going to get rid of my foam because this is a red rubber stamp, and you can see it already has the foam on there. We don't need that extra foam pad. Being very careful to go straight up and straight down. I'm going to just hold that, let that ink sink in, and looky there. Look at how pretty the inside of our card is. I love the font on that Go-To Greetings stamp set. Oh, one more thing I almost forgot that we need to stamp is our greeting for the front. Let's bring this back in, and our pad. And with that, may your greatest wish come true, I'm going to just stamp it up here close to the corner, like this. And then I can just put my flowers and my ladybug around my greeting. So it looks like that. So there we go. Let's put all of our stamping away. Let's go ahead and do all of our punching. Okay, so we already have our little ladybug wings. I'm going to also punch out a set of wings from some vellum. And then we need our little ladybug body. I'm going to just use basic black. And then for our little daisy flowers here, I have just a scrap of basic white, and I'm going to punch out 4 of the, I think they're called medium daisies. I think that's what this punch is called, but just with this little daisy punch, I'm going to punch out 4 little flowers. Oh, there's the other one. He disappeared for a second. And then for the leaves of our flowers, I'm going to use some granny apple green, and I'm going to just stamp or punch 2 of the ladybug wings. So now I think we have all of our pieces and parts. Let me just clean up a little bit. Okay, let's start putting stuff together. So first of all, with my leaf here, I'm going to go ahead and just cut them apart. Like that. And then I do want to put some veins onto my leaf. So I'm going to bring back in my Pierce mat, and I'm going to bring in that Take a Pick tool, and I'm going to take off this pokey tool. You just twist it here and it releases like that, and put in that stylus tool. Now the stylus tool has one knob that is big and one knob that is small. I'm going to use the small knob of my stylus tool and just take it like this and kind of draw those veins into my leaf here and just give it a little bit more character. So now it doesn't look like a ladybug wing, it looks like a leaf. Don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be the same. And I don't know, you might not even notice the little veins on the leaf, but I liked it better that way, so that's what I'm doing. And the last one here, just draw some, see, so you can just have a little bit of veins on your leaf. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our, here's my liquid glue, a little bit in the center of my flowers. And let's layer those up. And this one on here. Now while I let those dry, let's assemble our ladybug here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a little bit of tape runner. Whoop, that one's out. Let's see. Oh, no, this one's got some in it. and just run it along the top here. Maybe. There we go. And set this, I went backwards. I'm going to put this red just above so it gets just a little bit of layer of that vellum showing through like that. And then I'm going to just put some dimensionals, and these are the mini dimensionals on the side of my ladybug here. Just a dot of glue here at the top. And then I'm going to go ahead and, whoop, I forgot to take the backs off. Where did my, I'm going to use my take a pick tool, here we go, to get those backs off. And then just lay this right here, just like I did the inside of my card, so it lines up with the neck, I guess you'd say, of the ladybug. And now we have her already. To add a little bit of color to my flowers, I'm bringing my scratch paper. I'm going to use just a basic dauber and some So Saffron ink. Now on this one, I believe this was crushed curry. I think it's a little darker than I wanted, so I'm going to try a lighter color, and then you can compare the two and see which one you like better. But I like to just put my little sticker here so I know that for this dauber I only use it with crushed curry. Now you could take these and wash them and use them with different colors. I just think you get 5 in a pack and it's easier just to have one for every color. But I'm going to just take the centers here and just add a little bit of yellow to the center of my flower. Nothing fancy, just adding a little bit of character. There we go. Now I think they look pretty good. And I do like the lighter color better than the darker for some reason. Okay, now let's add our leaves. I'm going to just put a little bit of glue on the corner of one, attach that to the other. I'm going to hold it just for a second, let that glue dry or adhere a little bit, and then a little bit of glue on the back of both of them, and let's stick that onto our flower. That way we just have some kind of leaf on our flower. So let's do the same thing to the other one real quick. A little bit of glue here. And you know, I'm going to take these and maybe put them so they don't look quite the same, maybe make them just a little bit different. I don't think any flower is ever exactly the same. So this way my leaf, maybe a little bit, I don't know. There you go. Just a thought, maybe I overthink it, huh? So let's add all of these now to our card. I'm going to add this part with dimensionals. And now before I add it, now remember I told you I had this corner here is a little bit, well, it's not perfect, so I'm going to put that down here at the bottom, and that way the top or the focal part is going to have the better edge of my white piece, I guess you'd say. And then this one I can maybe even cover up. Yeah, look, I don't think now that you would even notice that I'm off a little bit down here at the corner. I also could have taken my paper snips and maybe cut that off a little bit, but I think it looks okay just the way it is. So I'm going to add my flowers with just a little bit of liquid glue, and I'm going to kind of make sure that it goes around and looks good where my words are. Like that. And this one down here in the other corner, maybe like that. And then my ladybug, I'm going to pop up on those dimensionals. Sticky little booger. Or already in flight, I don't know which one. Okay, and then we're just going to stick her right here. And look how cute the little card is, just like that. Now, the last thing we need is the centers of our flowers that look like that. And so for those on my original card, I use the brush metallic adhesive back dots, but I wanted to try, I just got some of these flower adhesive back trinkets, and look how pretty they are. Now they're pretty heavy. They come in silver, bronze, and I think it was champagne. Now you have to look, I think, really close to tell the difference between the bronze and the champagne, and maybe I even have them reversed as to which ones are which, but I thought these might look cute in the inside. And I'm going to use my where did here go? I might take a pick tool here and just set those, but I'm going to use the bronze ones. I think they're a little, I'm all thumbs. I think they're a little bit darker and would look good. Yeah, look how cute that is in the center, almost the center of our flower. Now, for the month of September, Stampin' Up! Has weekly deals, and these little flowers, these adhesive back flowers, are on the weekly deal, so you get them at a little bit of a discount. So I will have a link below. You could go check those out. If you have an order already to put in, it's kind of nice. You can get some little bling at a discount. You might want to just add those to your order. And like I said, there'll also be a link to my blog with the supply list and the measurements for my card. So let's see, now where was the envelope? Did we get an envelope out? Maybe we didn't. Because now, with these little Boutique card and envelopes, you get a really pretty envelope that you can put your card in. We've stamped on the inside. We've used that masking paper so we could give our little ladybug some wings. A great happy birthday stamp. And there you go. So there's our card today. Of course, if you have any questions, you be sure and let me know. I'll answer what I can, and what I don't know, I will find out for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back here Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.